Well, welcome everybody to the 2025 Film Prize Junior virtual red carpet. Tonight, we are joined by our first ever Film Prize Junior winner, Mr. Brandon Armstrong.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure. I'm so glad to have you back. Many of you don't know this, but Brandon actually worked as a script reviewer for a few of y'all's films. So it's really amazing to see kind of the process, or for me to share the process from start to finish. Brandon, what was your experience like reviewing these scripts?
It was actually very, very good. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I read some really good scripts. I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff that I read. And it was kind of nice to take a trip down memory lane,
Oh, yeah.
to see what it was like, when I was really green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're always here to support you, and one of those things is to get you to practice on your promotional skills. So, the first guest we have is actually going to be the film All for the Win from Green Oaks Performing Arts Academy, which coincidentally is your alma mater, right? So let's go ahead and bring All for the Win up to the stage, and we'll get going with our interviews. Okay, welcome to the chat, you guys. We have All for the Win from Green Oaks Performing Arts Academy. Why don't you start off by introducing yourself? I see our young director here. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your film without spoiling anything.
No spoiling it. Okay. Hello, I'm Teron Collins. I was elected to be the director for the film All for the Win, and without filming it, about spoiling it. I'd say the film is heavily focused on comedy, and the goal is to make you laugh, and it'll take you on a journey with the main character. I don't know exactly how much more I can say without spoiling it, but you'll have to see it. You'll have to see it.
All right. So you said that you were elected to be
Mhm.
the director of your Film Prize Junior project. Tell us a little bit about what your experience with this project was. How did you first hear about it?
Honestly, I was a bit late to hear about it because I was missing a few days. But in class, Miss Johnson informed us that we'd be doing a movie soon, and that she already had. But we have the script ready. Well, not script ready, but we had a script going. We had a bit of filming we had done, and we soon have trials for roles, in which I tried out for two characters. But it was. But I heard about it in class, as long as everyone else.
I I uh I remember meeting with you guys about the film. Can you tell me more about your experience of making the film and what part of the process was the most fun? You spoke about it being communal, so what part of that was the most challenging?
The most challenging, the most fun. Okay. Well, the most challenging part was probably hmm,
Yeah.
probably taking care of all the different shots we had to take because there was a lot of shots we had to take. We had to retake a lot of shots, make sure enough footage. But the most fun was definitely mm, the most fun. Probably taking those shots inside the hallways. Those are really fun
So we have a,
because we got
oops, go ahead.
um because it was really fun because everyone was we were all like having fun talking with each other and just enjoying the filming process in general. That was the most fun day for sure.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. You know, this again, like you said, is a group project. Did any of you guys have any opportunities to learn something new? Did y'all get assigned to maybe something that you were not familiar with and you had to pick up quick? Go ahead.
Mm, Something that I learned from filming this was I had to be more patient than what I normally was because the amount of times that I had to film my same scene over and over, I just had to be patient because me not being patient, I would never made it.
That's right. And how about for you?
Uh, the things I learned was like the experience, the whole experience really. Because like she said, like the amount it takes, like I'm not really normalized with it, so it really gave me a good idea of like actual filming and how it would be like.
All right. Go ahead.
Wait, y'all didn't hear none of that?
No, no, we heard you. I thought somebody
Oh,
else was
oh,
starting.
no, my bad.
Ms. Johnson, was that you?
Oh no, but I'll say definitely just I saw the growth from the beginning when we first started with the script on paper and nobody was a believer. They did not think we were going to get through it. and we just kept hitting the milestones, kept hitting it, and kept going through. And we set up the set, and we got everything together. We were practicing in the set, and then we filmed, and then got to the editing part. Every time I could just see the growth and the more the buy-in. They were really into it. And when we finally finished, they were super excited.
Yeah. So, our director, what is some advice that you would give to somebody else trying to do a Film Prize Junior film for the first time? We've already received Be Patient. So what is your advice?
Honestly, I'd say confidence. Because when we first started recording it, I felt a bit apprehensive about how the movie would turn out. But seeing how it turned out, it was honestly better than I could even imagine. So I'd say if you keep your confidence up, you'll definitely succeed, but way better.
I have a final question. Is there anything that you learned during the process of filming that you will carry with you outside of filmmaking into the rest of your life?
Me specifically? Or
Anyone, y'all can answer.
Oh, I
okay.
answer it. Oh, wait, you go.
Yeah.
You want to go?
Yeah, I go. So basically, like from learning, I learned that sometimes you gotta get outside your comfort zone because it's not always gonna be like fun and good. Sometimes you gotta lock in. Sometimes you can chill. Sometimes you gotta work with people that you don't even know, and it's like that correlates to real life. Because like when you get a job and you haven't been in that workspace before, you gotta like adapt to it. So yeah, I learned that.
You understand now, just a little bit, but this experience is really giving you that reality of how life works. And it's so funny, right? We have just a microcosm of the film set, right? So thank you so much, you guys. We're gonna wrap up with a Viva La Film Prize Junior all together. I know we did this in class, but do you think you can do it for us online?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do it first, and then you're gonna do it yourselves, okay? We'll count you down, though. So it goes a little something like this. 3, 2, 1. Viva la Film Prize! You gotta have that junior in there.
Yeah.
But if you don't, that's okay. That's all.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna count you down on the count of 3. 1.
Viva
La
Film
Prize
Prize.
Junior.
Thank you so much, guys. We cannot wait to see All for the Win at this year's Film Prize Junior Festival. Y'all are coming, right?
Yep.
All right, we'll see you then.
Thanks.
Bye.
Awesome. So while we wait for our next group, which looks like it's going to be Adversity from Parkway High School. Yeah, we have that festival coming up in just a couple of weeks. May 2nd and 3rd is going to be the big days. Friday, we start films at 4, but don't worry if you can't be here right then. They do go all throughout the day. See your teacher for the actual showtime schedule. Saturday, you get 2 opportunities to see your films, but we also have so many other things like hands-on demo exercises at Production Island, which is having some film professionals with some really awesome equipment come and show you the ropes. We also have filmmaker panels and the red carpet, of course. So come on down. We'd love to see you. Make sure you RSVP, though. All right. So without further ado, we're going to bring Adversity onto the stage. When you get up here, go ahead and introduce yourselves, what school you attend, and the title of your film. And then without giving too much away, let us know about it.
So I'm Stormy, I'm the head director, and then this is Hannah, she's the co-director. We're from Parkway High School, and our film Adversity is about our football team who went through some struggles during the season, and it's kind of about how they, overcame these struggles while, coming together as a group.
Excellent. So I think I was in your classroom when you may have first heard about Film Prize Junior, but with you already being in a broadcast and media group, why don't you let us know a little bit about how your classroom helped you with making your film?
It helped us a lot. We had a lot of resources like cameras, microphones, tripods, monopods, and dollies we could use to get all the new and unique video
Footage.
effects and footages. And then we have our Apple Macs that we use Final Cut Pro with, and we learned so many new things with that.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite part about that process?
I think just, finding different transitions, finding different fonts we could use with the app, and like, just kind of really experimenting in a way we never have, because we haven't ever had to make a documentary before. So yeah, just kind of experimenting with that.
No, taking a trip backwards, what was something that you would say that you learned about yourself or maybe the process as a whole? And was there anything or any moment that kind of helped you grow, not only as a filmmaker, but maybe as a person?
Patience.
Patience. Yes, it took a lot of patience working with all the guys and trying to get them to actually do what we're asking and not goof around. And
It's high school football players. Of course, they're gonna goof around. And it was also hard with us being in school while filming it, because people have classes that they have to attend. So it's kind of hard to film them, but we're here. So
Well, so y'all are seniors, right?
juniors.
Juniors. Okay. So what advice are you going to give to yourself for next year in conquering your Film Prize Junior film?
Definitely plan more, because we planned there kind of at the last few weeks till it was due. So definitely actually making a good plan through the whole process and not just doing a lot of things last minute.
How about you, Stormy?
I would say the same thing. Plan ahead. It's not like we weren't prepared, but we kind of oh, we should do this now. We should do this now. We should do this now. So it was kind of like a bunch of new ideas jumping at us, and just try and plan those ideas better.
Will you do a documentary next year, or try something else?
If something documentary worthy happens.
Yeah, I would love to try something new though. Doing the documentary was really fun, but filming a movie would probably be 10 times more fun.
Well, I know from experience that it is tons of fun. You can take as long as you like. If you want to start writing your script over the summer, you absolutely can. So you can really hit the fall hard and start with production as soon as you'd like. Yeah, so congratulations. You did it. Are you ready to come to the festival?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we cannot wait to see you there. We're going to go ahead and do our sign off. So do y'all need us to do it first, or do y'all think you got this?
I think we got it.
Okay. All right. So on the count of 3, y'all are going to say, Viva la Film Prize Junior, okay? All right. 1, 2.
Viva la Film Prize Junior!
Thank you both so much. We cannot wait to see Adversary from Parkway High School at the Film Prize Junior Festival here May 2nd and 3rd. Can't wait to see you guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna have our next film come on stage. We actually have a couple, or a few, I should say. This is from Eleanore McMain Secondary School. They're out of New Orleans, so I think they're gonna start with Behind You. Okay. All right, so now on this stage we have Behind You from Eleanore McMain Secondary School. Why don't we have y'all introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your film without spoiling too much?
Hi, I'm Makai Jenkins. I'm the writer and director of Behind You. I attend Eleanore McMain, and I would say my film is it's like a PSA to not bully, but in an exaggerated, indirect way.
Cool, right? So this is definitely a thriller, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what was your experience of filming this thriller Behind You?
It was really fun because I got to see different techniques with the camera, but it was also really stressful because we were working against time, but I really, really wanted to do it. So I kept going. I couldn't stop. I really wanted to do it. I knew this was my dream. So even though some days it was really stressful, I still put on a smile and I went in and I gave my best work.
Have you ever had an opportunity like this before?
I've had opportunities to help film movies, but I've never had an opportunity to film my own movie.
Wonderful. And how about you? Was your experience like, Darren?
My experience, it was a very fun experience. I knew I always wanted to be a cinematographer, and it was very fun for me because it was very hands-on.
Absolutely. And how about you? What was your experience like, Idella?
Oh my God, it was amazing. I've produced films, short films, you know, before outside of this, but doing this with my students, it was actually I had an amazing time. These kids are so remarkable. Their talent is just, I mean, beyond my expectations. I had no idea what I was getting into when I took the job at McMain. But Makai is a wonderful writer, has a lot of great ideas, very innovative. Darren, he's just a professional all around. And so a lot of times I literally was in the producer seat. I literally was in the producer seat because these guys really took the ball and they ran with it. So I cannot ask for a better crew, better situation, better experience.
Was there anything that surprised you about the whole process?
Is
That's
this for me?
Hey, anyone, open,
yeah.
open question.
okay. All right, go ahead, Makai. You take that one first.
You know how difficult it actually is to get like the perfect shot. One of my scenes was shot in the dark, and that alone took us like 30 minutes to set up because we had to make sure the light could catch not only the characters but me too, because I was I was in the shadow with makeup on. But yeah, it's just like the way that you have to make a camera work for you is crazy.
Yeah. Darren?
Lighting,
More
on lighting and more on lighting.
More lighting. Yeah. Surprising for me, you know, I mean, you got to be ready for anything. I mean, you know, it's not live theater, but when you're shooting a film, everything is kind of live. And so when stuff happens, you just got to be able to how be flexible, be able to be spontaneous, you know, be creative. And what was really surprising, Makai, I mean, she was really good at coming up with solutions on the fly.
Oh,
So
what's an
I mean,
example of one of those? Oh,
I
yeah.
really am proud
An
of her.
example of something that you had to figure out on the fly, Makai. Or
Oh my goodness. Okay, so on the last day of filming, we had a location planned out, but it just wouldn't work. Like we could not get into the gym at all. So I had to basically like rewrite the whole second half of my script and put it somewhere else and try to make it fit. And that was really stressful, but I just put on a brave smile because I already saw that my teacher was stressed out from trying to get the location. So I was like, let me not put any more stress on this lady.
well, awesome. Okay, guys. So we're gonna wrap up this one. Is there anything additional that the cast or the crew of Behind You wants to tell the world about your film?
I don't know. It's exciting. You should watch it. It's gonna be really funny. There's really funny parts. You're gonna get a good laugh. You're gonna get a theme out of it. I hope you enjoy it.
Well, we hope that you enjoy seeing your face on the big screen at the Film Prize Junior Festival. Let's go ahead and give this group a Viva la Film Prize Junior, okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Viva la Film Prize Junior!
Love it, guys. Congratulations again on your amazing film Behind You. We're now going to bring up Dear Lover from the same school. Now we have Dear Lover from Eleanore McMain High School. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your film without spoiling too much.
Okay, so my name is Braden Mathis, and my film is it's basically about a past relationship, right? And I'm kind of like longing for this girl to the point where I want to write a note to her.
So sweet. So, have you always had this idea in your mind and Film Prize Junior was just the perfect opportunity for you to get it done?
Yeah, because honestly, I've always wanted to kind of make a music video about this and but turn it into something that's cinematic. Just make it seem like it's a movie but a short film. So this was the perfect opportunity, and I really do thank my theater teacher, Miss Johnson, for giving me this opportunity.
Now, now you were one of you was cinematographer for both of the films. So was there a challenge transitioning between the two styles of filming or no?
Not really, but yes at the same time. The biggest thing about the films was time. It was mainly time for them films. We time slots had to get this done and have to go back to this film. It was time.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, was there anything other or anything that you needed to really overcome to help you beat time? Did you have to call some like extra meetings? Did you have to, what is the most extreme thing that you did to get this project done?
We had to cut out some scenes or change scenes to make it fit better for everybody time slots.
So, will there be a director's cut?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. We were one of the biggest things, me and Braden, we had to butt heads on this weather because for
Weather
some
did-
strange reason, all of a sudden while we were doing rehearsals, because we actually rehearsed a lot of his stuff beforehand, and beautiful sunny weather and everything. And when we got ready to really shoot it, the weather just was bad day after day after day. I said, Braden, we are running out of time. We gotta shoot this. He stuck to his guns. He was like, no, I need the sun. I need it to be sunny. Needed to be sunny. So we shifted some schedules around, with the different films and everything. And then we finally got our son. And I'm like, okay, we got to hit the ground running. And he got his wish. I was very proud of him for really sticking to his vision.
And it was really hot that day too. So I really do appreciate my uh camera crew and all my actress. So for really thugging it out in that sun because it
Yeah.
Well, and that's something that is a very special skill that you learn. And it is so important in every creative thing that you do is that you treat the people who are working with you with the utmost respect, and you really care about, their well-being because they are really helping you out with making your project come to reality.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap this one up, but I want to give y'all a chance to give us any special advice that you learned from this experience.
Well, what I learned about making this film was you really need to be transparent about what you want. And I was always a shy kid growing up, so I didn't really speak my mind when it came to those things. But as far as like my creativity and my vision, that shy kid went right away. So be transparent about what you want to make things possible.
Well,
Okay,
congratulations.
I'm getting teary-eyed.
I know, right? Congratulations. It's a fantastic film. We cannot wait to meet you at the Film Prize Junior Festival in May. All right. Are you ready for Viva la Film Prize Junior?
Yes.
All righty then. All right. I'll count you down. 1, 2, 3.
Viva la Film Prize Junior. Junior
We
Film
gotta start
Prize.
that one more
We're gonna
time.
do it slow. We're gonna do
Okay?
it slow. We're gonna do it fast. All right.
I like to do it like Viva la Film Prize Junior, but
Okay, we got you. We got you. You got it. Okay.
all right. And go.
Viva la Film Prize Junior.
Junior.
Awesome, guys. Thank you
Slow.
so much for coming on, dear lover. We'll catch you next time and at the festival. Next, we're gonna bring up the final film from Eleanore McMain Secondary School, Snakes in the Grass. It's gonna be devious. Watch your back, right?
I don't mess with snakes.
All right, well, welcome to the stage, Snakes in the Grass. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, your film, and tell us a little bit about it without giving too much away.
Okay, so I'm Chloe Bailey. I go to Eleanore McMain Secondary High School, and my film is basically about the mental struggles that students face in high school and the decisions that they make.
Right on. So, with your film, were you pulling from anything personal, or were you kind of dramatizing something that you had maybe seen before?
No, I wouldn't say everything was personal because I personally wasn't bullied in high school, but I was bullied by my mental health. It was a lot. Yeah, my mental health issues is something that I went through personally, so I just put that in my film and made it come to life.
Did you learn anything about yourself during the making of this film or getting your heart onto paper and onto film?
I learned that I could be more I wouldn't want to say bossy, but I learned that I could be more firm than I usually am when it comes to being a director, because it was a lot of moments where I was like, oh, like this is very stressful, but I have to lock in. I have to get everybody on the same page as me. It has to be strong, and I want it that way, so that's how it's going to be.
Do you see yourself doing something like this again in the future?
Yes, definitely in college, but I don't see myself probably making a career out of it. It would probably just be something that I could do for fun, but I could definitely see myself doing it again.
Well, the wonderful thing about film is that it's something that you can pick up if you know the right people. And as long as you inform yourself and put yourself in the right circles and volunteer and then say that I want to get paid, you can be in film, I promise you. I don't know if you've heard anything about the Louisiana Film Prize, but it is kind of the next, the prize, it is the next level of Film Prize Junior. So if you do have a passion, we have a place for you to create. So yeah, definitely keep it up. Are there any technical skills that you learned other than how to manage people, which is so huge to do?
Yeah, continuity. Continuity was definitely one of them. It's like you really are serious when you say everything has to be the exact same way it was in the scene beforehand, if it's going to be like a continuation of that same scene. So you can't change your hair, you can't change your clothes, everything has to be consistent. And I learned that while looking back at the film, so I'm like, oh Jesus, like how am I gonna fix that? And I fixed it, and it wasn't easy, but I did it.
Yeah. I would like to add, so Chloe was the actress, she was the writer, she was the director, and she's a poet. So this started off as a poem, but she's a really good actress, and she's very visual in her writing. And I told her, I said, you would make the perfect filmmaker, because film is a visual medium, and her poetry jumps off the page. And so I was like, what if you turn this into a short film? And we sat there. I think, Chloe, I think you wrote this like that. Like you wrote this.
Yeah.
I think it was like one class period. She had wrote her whole entire film in one class period.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the visuals, every single thing. So she has a gift. But I did tell her that it is not an easy thing to be the actor, the director, and the writer. And she coordinated costumes. She did a lot of work on this film. And so, I know you said that you want to probably, maybe not pursue this, but maybe do it for fun. But I do think that, yeah, it's definitely something that's gonna probably tug at you a little bit more, it's gonna tug at you. It's like it never gets away, so I'm expecting to see way more from this student here. And I'm telling you, I literally just had to step back. I didn't have to do much on her film at all.
Well, and that's fantastic that, you know, you're creating something and then transforming it into something else. A little bit like what you went through this year is like you've transformed yourself into maybe a more confident leader, right? Because of this project. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel so wonderful because I used to be such like in this little box, and it's like I have stage fright. Well, had stage fright. And it's like I didn't like talking in front of people, didn't like doing anything in front of people other than like one or two people. And doing this film really helped me like break out of that box and say like I have a gift and I want to show it.
Absolutely. I love that. And I cannot wait to meet you guys at this year's Film Prize Junior Festival, May 2nd and 3rd. Why don't we go ahead, wrap this up with a Viva la Film Prize Junior? Are you ready?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. On the count of 3. 1, 2.
Viva la Film Prize
Junior.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I think we're going to promote, are we going to do Heather's or are we going to do Myra's class? Jigsaw. Okay, great. We're going to have, thank you guys. We'll see you next time. So yeah, we're going to bring up Jigsaw. I'm pretty sure they're from Northwestern. Yes, Northwestern Middle. We had a few films from Miss Heather. All right. Hey, we're gonna move on. It's gonna be okay. All right. So welcome to the Film Prize Junior stage. We've got Jigsaw from Northwestern Middle School. Why don't you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your film without spoiling too much?
Okay, well, I'm gonna, we have several films here, but since you mentioned Jigsaw, I'm gonna get out of the camera and bring the two filmmakers who made Jigsaw up here.
Fantastic. And then we'll have Circuit of Lies and Happy Anniversary Detective, right?
Yes.
Awesome, okay.
We also have
Okay, guys, well, welcome to the Film Prize Junior stage. Why don't you introduce yourselves, say the title of your film and what school you go to, and let us know a little bit about your film.
Well, my name is Mabry Hayes, and
I am Molly Cardinelli.
And our title is Jigsaw, and we go to Northwestern Middle School.
So, without giving too much away, what is Jigsaw about?
It's about this girl, and she's struggling really bad, and she just can't figure out herself, and her mother isn't the best mother, and she finds this girl, and she is absolutely very nice, and she's just sunshine, you know, and and she just wants to help the main character a lot, and she eventually does.
Now, can you tell us more about the experience of making this? And was there any hurdles that you had to go through, not only like technically with the technical side of filmmaking, but also like the story and because I know stories like that can be a bit emotionally charged.
Yeah, I do have to say that some of it does like have both of an effect that has like happened to have stuff in both of our lives, and that yes, this does happen a lot. People struggle with this. So whenever we were coming up with the idea, we kind of just used that and we turned it into a theatrical sense, I guess.
Yeah, we turned it into something. We wanted to use real life like examples, and we wanted to show what people can go through, and we want to put a voice out there.
So y'all are theater kids. How were you sorry, let me restart because I want to actually ask you this question. So you were theater kids. How was it transitioning from stage to film?
Ooh,
really hard.
Yeah, because we're used to being on the stage and we're used to being like loud, project. Oh my gosh, yes, you have to. Oh, be dramatic.
And now it's kind of like all of the stuff that we've learned. It's just like, okay, we're gonna use some of this, and we're gonna just throw all the other stuff out.
Yeah, and there's things that there's things with screen, it's easier because you can cut out things and you can edit them. And with theater, with stage, you have to make everything perfect, and it's so much easier. And it was just kind of a rest for us, I'd say.
Yeah, didn't really have to memorize those lines, I guess.
That was
because I do have a lot of struggle with that.
that was a blessing.
Very much so.
Well, looking back, did you learn anything about yourselves or the experience that you'd like to share? Any new skills?
Yes, a lot of skills. I've learned how to edit, how to film, how to act out things even better than I used to. And it's just a lot and it takes like partnership and friendship to make something like this with another person. And you can go through a lot of conflict with this other person that you're doing it with, but it makes you learn things throughout the whole process, and it's just a whole experience.
What advice would you give any students that are thinking of entering Film Prize or doing something like this themselves?
What I would tell them is just don't let the conflict stop you, and let that be encouragement instead of being the roadblock. Just think of that as just a little tiny pebble in the road. Don't think of it as a huge boulder.
Yeah.
Hey, don't stop. That's honestly, it is great advice. So many of our young filmmakers, and honestly, us adults, we let ourselves get in the way. We let other people get in the way, whether it's actual things or their perception or our perception. Always something. So amazing that you're getting to have that real life experience. With the little bit of time that we have left for Jigsaw, what is something that you need the world to know about you or your film?
I need the world to know that people always don't have to be perfect. People always struggle. People have mistakes in their life, and people are out there and they're struggling, and you need to go up and you need to help them, because it's very important to me that people stand up for one another and people help each other. And I just believe in world peace and kindness and all of that, and I just want it to be spread.
It's kind of like the saying, actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can't exactly use their words to show how they're hurt, so they just bundle themselves up. So someone else could at least try and use their actions and words and use that to help others.
That's so special, you guys. Thank you so much for sharing your film, Jigsaw, with the Film Prize Junior audiences. All right, before we take you off, we're gonna go ahead and do our Viva la Film Prize Junior. Actually, do y'all mind if we do one class Viva la Film Prize Junior at the end?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so we're gonna bring up Circuit of Lies. Thank you both so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we got
Okay,
Circuit
so
of Lies coming
we're
up
gonna
now.
switch out. So we have one of our actors is here from Circuit of Lies.
I'm just the best one because I'm the only one that showed up. I'm just the better one.
Actions speak louder than words, right?
Right, that's right. We learned that.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right. So, and Olivia actually, she offered her house to us.
I'm the set designer.
Yeah, so we used her house. So anyway, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, go ahead and introduce yourselves, the title of your film, and a little bit about Circuit of Lies without spoiling too much.
So my name is Olivia Sasser. Sorry, what was the question again? I kind of forgot.
Tell her
What's
about
the
the
name
film.
of your, yeah, and tell us a little bit without spoiling it.
So it's kind of like
like there's this boy, and he finds out that he's not human, but more in fact of a robot, and he's very confused about what's been going on because not only has he just found out about this 13 years in life, but his parents have lied to him, doctors have lied to him, like basically everyone he knows and trusts has lied to him.
What will he do? We will find out at Film Prize Junior Fest. So, how was the experience of making this film? You're the lead, or
no, I'm
not the lead, but you had a lot to do with the set design and the actual, you're an actress. How was your experience? How did you get roped into this?
Roped into this?
How did you get into Film Prize Junior?
That was me. We did it as a class project, and
I was in the class, so I kind of had
actually,
to do
the Jigsaw and this film were from the same class, so they had options. They had lots of freedom to choose, and so Jigsaw decided to be a small group project, and this was the bigger group project.
This was the more class project.
Yeah. So there were about, how many of y'all? Like 8 of them in it. And yeah, and so they have wild ideas, but they managed to wrangle them together to make a story. So that was pretty fun to watch.
So did you get to choose which film you were a part of, or did something about Circuit of Lies call out to you?
Oh, they chose to be in a group, right?
Yeah.
And then they wrote their own.
Yeah, we were gonna be in a group, and then they broke off into their own thing, and I did help them a little, but not very much, not very like drastic with their show, but I was more involved with Circuit of Lies than Jigsaw.
Well, cool. Is there anything about your experience that you cannot wait to share? Or, sorry, I'm going to rephrase that because that was just terrible. Is there anything? Let me get the giggles out. Is there anything about your experience being on Circuit of Lies that you will carry on to the next project that you do?
Can I be honest for a second?
Of course.
Always.
I did not like transitioning into film. I did not like it. Not at all.
What about film, or what about theater that do you prefer?
I prefer the more raw emotion from being on stage than being in a film, because in film, you have to redo it over if you don't get it right, and but on stage you experience it once, and that's the one time, and it hits so hard right there.
It's exhausting having to do emotional things over and over.
Yeah, and start and back up, start again, back up, start again. Yeah.
I don't like repetitive stuff.
What about things being out of order? How did you feel about that?
I did not like that. No. I prefer, like, for when you do like the show, like you do it scene by scene and you practice it scene by scene, and then you go afterwards and tweak out some stuff and improve. I didn't exactly like the fact that we would do it out of order depending on our set or where we were, and it was like, no,
you didn't get to feel that like through line of the character.
You'd get to one part and then you'd skip over one that like kind of interlapped with it, and you would go on to the next part and you're like, wait.
Yeah. Well, it is definitely a different experience than theater, but we're so glad that you decided to do it. And thank you so much for all the things that you've done this year. Let's go ahead and bring up Happy Anniversary Detective, and then we'll wrap this one up and give y'all all your Viva la Film Prize Junior.
Well, we do have one more. We have we also have Truth Be Told. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, hey, got it. One more after that.
You're the only one, huh? Do you want me to sit there with you? Okay, Abigail will sit with you.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the stage, everyone. Go ahead and briefly introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about Happy Anniversary Detective.
My name is McKinley Ross. I wrote this script and I was one of the leads in it. It's about really like a story of unrequited love. There's this detective and he's retired, but he's been getting these odd letters with just weird colors and messages from a case that he didn't solve. And it's basically haunting him as he lives through his retirement. And it, I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah,
It's a very
that's really
compelling
it.
story. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience? Was this also a class project?
Yes.
So as the screenwriter, and do we have our our director as well?
She's the only one who came.
I'm the only
Okay, we're just here for support then.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your experience making Happy Anniversary Detective.
It was very fun to do. I don't particularly like filming. I prefer on stage acting as well. But it was an experience.
Was there anything that you learned about yourself or any new skills that you picked up along the way?
I learned for film, you can't overact. So I learned to limit how I do my acting.
You wrote a detective character who's about to retire. Was there something challenging about writing a character that you might not necessarily easily relate to?
Not so it's a mystery story, and I based it off of Agatha Christie's novels and how she writes her stuff. So it wasn't necessarily hard, but I did have to dig deep into the suspense. So I didn't spoil it for myself too early on or anyone else who would read or watch it.
Yeah, well, is there any advice that you would give to another filmmaker or another theater kid becoming a filmmaker?
Not to stress about it, because I tended to do a lot of that when we weren't getting stuff perfect or on time, but in reality, that's not something you need to worry about, because in the end you will get through it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and bring everybody up now to do our Viva La Film Prize Junior.
Well, we did have one more.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot.
No, it's okay. It's Truth Be Told. Can they come up real quick?
Yes, real quick.
Okay.
Thank
real
you.
Quick. Come on.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do need to cut this interview.
I know we're going to run out of time. So, all right, tell her about Truth Be Told.
Okay, so it's a story of this boy, Craig, and he goes to the nurse's office for a tetanus shot. He's got a very busy mother. And there was a little slip up at the nurse's office that affects everything in the story later on. I won't spoil it yet.
Great, yeah.
So during the making of this film, what were some challenges that you ran into?
Laughing. Caleb, the one who's not here, he cuts up a lot.
Yes,
it's very hard not to laugh at his antics.
Yes. He cracks jokes and makes faces.
So did y'all learn anything about having to maybe manage or go back in the editing bay to help that out?
Well, I didn't really do much of the editing, but I learned not to take everything so seriously.
Yes. To let loose and have fun.
Yeah. Definitely a lot more casual filming with the camera than being on stage.
Mm-hmm. Well, awesome, you guys. Do you have anything that you would like to share with the world about Truth Be Told?
Laugh. It's supposed to be funny.
That's a Jessica.
Blue.
Well, fantastic. We cannot wait to see your film at the Film Prize Junior Festival. Let's go ahead and bring up everybody from Northwestern Middle
All right, middle
School.
schoolers,
Give
let's
them
come up
a
here.
big Viva la Film Prize Junior.
You can sit back down, and then they can stay behind you.
Oh.
All right, come on, gather around middle school. Ready?
All right, everybody on the count of
Viva la Film Prize Junior. You ready?
I got it.
1, 2, 3.
Viva la
Film Prize Junior. We hope to see you at the festival, but I know you'll probably have the Thespian Festival, so we will see you at your virtual premiere. Welcome back to the Film Prize Junior virtual red carpet. Go ahead and introduce yourself, the title of your film, what school you go to, but what program you're with.
Awesome. My name is Zoe Brown. I'm with my film name is Death Finds Life, and I go to Caddo Magnet High School, and I'm with Teen Film Council.
Fantastic. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Death Finds Life without giving too much away?
Okay, Death Finds Life is about a personified death. He is a Grim Reaper who is tired of his job of being death, and he is searching for a new job, an occupation. So he goes through a world of struggle trying to find it.
Was this your first time doing an animation, or have you done animation before?
This is my second animation. My first animation was Drought. And yeah.
Miss Zoe actually won our grand prize for middle school last year.
Oh, I did
That's
not know that.
right.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, with this being your second year of doing an animation, what are some of the new things that you brought to your animation that you learned?
Some new things that I learned about my animation. This year I tried out rotoscope, and it was very hard, but also very fun. The process of doing that was filming my whole film with just my actors acting out the movements and put some costumes on them so I could trace over them. And then I moved it to the animation portion where I drew over everything. Everything is hand drawn, and yeah.
You usually, because you've done animation before, when you're doing the frame rate when you're editing, because I know usually when you animate on the ones and on the twos. So, what specific frame rate did you use in order to get the smoothness of your film?
I use 18 frames per second. I had to really try out which frame rate I liked. I did try 12 in the very beginning when I was animating, and I thought it was too slow. So I moved to 24, and that was just not, I could not do all of that. So I moved back to 18, and it was the perfect speed for the film.
So, what has your experience been like this year? Is it different? Is it easier? In your own words, what is your experience this year?
My experience this year, I definitely wanted to challenge myself more this year, so I decided to do rotoscope, and that was a much bigger challenge, but I had a ton of fun doing the whole film. My film doesn't have any voices in it, so that was one less added challenge, but also an added challenge because I had to really make sure the expressions on the characters' faces were showing like what they felt and like what they wanted to say.
Sure. Is there any advice that you would give to anyone else doing an animation for Film Prize Junior?
People like I would give advice and say, try something new, challenge yourself, and whatever ideas that you have, write them down and come back to them.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to go ahead and thank you, Zoe. We're going to go ahead and bring flowers up, and whenever they're done with their interview, we'll do a combined Viva La Film Prize Junior. Okay, Zoe?
Okay, bye.
Awesome. Bye.
Hi.
Hi. Now welcome to the stage. We have flowers. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and your school, Teen Film Council, and then tell us a little bit about your film without giving too much away.
Yes, I'm Jasmine Strickland. I go to Caddo Magnet, and my film was sponsored by the Teen Film Council. I would say the very short and sweet version of my film is right person, wrong time. Just sort of not depending on someone's love to actually be able to live for yourself. You need to be able to live for you and no one else, kind of sort of idea.
So tell us more about the experience of making your film. What was the process, fun or challenging in any way?
I would say it was both fun and challenging. I did it pretty much on my own. So I did the cinematography, I did the editing, I did the script writing and all that stuff. So I think it really helped me on my perfectionist side get all these scenes of how exactly I wanted it. But I think in the long run, if I had other people had it more of a group effort, it would have saved me a lot of less stress.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you get to collaborate, it is a very rewarding experience, especially if you don't have to stress so much.
Yes, I think it's a double-edged sword kind of thing. Both ways are understandable and have their pros and cons.
Absolutely. Well, did you have to give up anything creatively to make your vision come to life?
Yes, I had a separate storyline that I wanted to go for, but I didn't portray it in the way that I should have. So I kind of had to cut it at the end, but it wasn't something I was super hoping to have on my film. It was just suggested that I do. So.
And this was your first film, right? Or have you done it before?
This is my first film, ma'am.
Okay. Well, what advice would you give to yourself or another filmmaker wanting to do this again next year?
I would say honestly do everything on time because I waited until the last moment to actually finish everything because it was the due date was on my birthday, so that also really sucked because I was doing my birthday stuff and then I was trying to finish everything. So I would say honestly do not procrastinate. The earlier is better and just have confidence in yourself that you're going to actually get your film done.
Words to the wise. Well, let's go ahead and bring Zoe back and we'll do a combined Viva La Film Prize Junior all together.
Oh, Kelly, I'm sorry. We do have one more real quick.
Oh, do we have? Okay, great.
Just hop in real quick. We'll throw him in. Okay. You don't have to squat. You're okay.
I'm really glad that you're here. Okay, why don't you introduce yourself, the title of your film, and give us a little bit of information about what it's about without giving too much away.
All right, my name is Ray Duchesne. I go to Benton High School, and my film is called Valhalla. It's about this Viking warrior. He's old. He's in his twilight years. But when he was younger, he was this very experienced Viking, and he survived many battles. And usually that'd be a good thing, you're strong, all that stuff. But as he got older, he got looked down upon for being old because you have to die in battle to go Valhalla. And so with his twilight years coming and his time running out for his natural life, he strives to die in battle and votes to go out like he should have years ago.
So where did this story come from?
Yeah, that's I don't even know. I think I just thought of the idea one day. I was just, getting lost in my thoughts, and I'm just like, yeah, that would be funny. Because I used to be big into mythology, and I was just thinking about Norse mythology and all the theoretical stuff about it. And I'm just thinking, yeah, what if this happened? How'd that work? What would happen if this guy did this? And I just thought of all the questions that could conflict with the mythology that I was well versed in. And I want to, put that into motion and make a story around it.
Well, the title suits it perfectly. You did a very well job there. So what was it like creating this? You had a stop motion animation. What was the process of that like?
Very strenuous. I think I used the right word. But yeah, making everything about the project, like the set design, the characters themselves, all of that was, pretty fun and a good hobby I think now. And that part was fun. I just like painting and putting it all together, having this vision that I want to bring to life. But as soon as I got to the stop motion part, I really did not know what I was getting myself into. It was very strenuous. Again, hope I used the right word. I had to like move individually these parts and slowly to get the frames in. And I'm no like claymation master clearly. So I didn't probably get the best clay for it. Sometimes I just looked up best stop motion clay, got the first one that popped up. I should have done research more. But like they were like go down eventually, so I had to do it rather quickly. And just the whole stop motion part, it was fun once I got used to it. But like at initial steps, it was quite rough to deal with because sometimes I'd also fall over and get all sandy because I use real sand. I'm just like, oh, start over, clean this off. So that part was very rough, but ultimately it culminated into something very fun and a new experience to deal with.
Is there any advice that you would give future filmmakers who are trying to dabble into stop motion?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked stop motion. For stop motion, if you're doing clay especially, I guess that really is the only stop motion I can think of. Just make sure you get the right clay appropriate for what you want to achieve. The larger your characters are, the harder it is for it to actually, keep their arms in place and limbs in place. So just make sure you get the right clay. If you have to, get like smaller parts like toothpicks, for example. Make sure that they can stay in place with that. And I did that too with my characters, but just keep that in mind. And yeah, just be careful. Anatomy is very difficult to master in stop motion. So if you have all the proper clay to make it durable and all the stuff that can support that clay, it helps a lot. And yeah, just be patient. You don't have to rush it and stuff. That's when things get messy. And um, yeah, study deeply into your voices and the claymation animation of those voices and the lines. Because if you aren't careful, your scenes will be a lot more faster than your voices, or your voices, longer than your scenes. So just, make sure to correlate well. And yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing not just your film, but your experience with us. Why don't we bring the entire Teen Film Council team back into frame and we'll give it the old Viva la Film Prize Junior, yeah? All right. On the count of three, friends. 1, 2, 3.
Viva la Film Prize Junior! Come on, guys. You can do better than that.
I'll let you do one more, okay?
Okay, get him, do him, Kelly. Get him, Kelly.
All right. Viva la Film Prize Junior, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Viva la Film Prize Junior!
Congratulations, guys. We cannot wait to see not just your film, but your shining faces at the Film Prize Junior Festival, May 2nd and 3rd. We'll see you there.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you, guys. All right, now we're gonna have our Fisher Middle School back into frame. Let's see if we can turn their camera on and get these films going. Hey guys, welcome to the Film Prize Junior stage. We have The Day It All Happened from Fisher Middle, amongst many other films. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your film without giving too much away.
My name is Kinley Bailey, and our film is about a traumatic thing that happened between these two girls. And even though a year later, it still traumatizes them. And yeah.
What was your experience making this film? Did you have some fun, or was some challenges there? Or
our experience making this film was pretty fun. But it was a good experience because we got to learn everything like about filming, and it was just really fun.
So did y'all pick up any new skills along the way? I know that you're typically theater kids, but did y'all have any experience behind the camera and doing any effects or anything like that?
With editing and with the editing, with the camera films and everything, it helped us with that and stuff.
Wonderful. Okay, guys, is there anything about The Day It All Happened that you would, or excuse me. Yeah, no. The Day It All Happened. I'm so sorry. The Day It All Happened. What is some, I am so off now. let me refresh. What is something about the day it all happened that you would like to share with the world?
The day it all happened is a very like
Traumatizing things can
happen in life.
And it can be very impactful for people to see because they may take it as something they've seen before and they may relate to it.
I hope that for the sake of all of our children, that they don't have to go through some of the things that are brought up in your film. You know, it is a very scary world out there, and, you know, making light of certain situations isn't always the best thing, but, you know, handling these really hard stories with dignity and grace gives those who have had maybe an experience that little bit of hope, saying that you're not alone, right? Right. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and bring up our next Fisher Middle School film. And then whenever we're through with all the films, we'll do the big Viva.
Come on, so. Yes. All right, this is my girl. She is Sol Hernandez from Red and Sisters in the End.
All right. Well, go ahead and reintroduce yourself. And let's start with Sisters in the End. Tell us a little bit about that film without giving too much away.
So my name is Sol Hernandez, and Sisters in the End are about these two girls that are sisters, and they get into an argument, but then later on they have a talk and they figure things out.
Now, what is Red about? Can you give us a little bit of that movie without spoiling it?
Red is about this girl who unexpectedly starts her period at school, and there is a girl who makes fun of her, but eventually the bully gets her taste of her own medicine and it happens to her.
Okay, Sarah. So tell us a little bit about your filming experience. Like, what was it like bringing these stories to film?
These stories to film were like really exciting and joyful because there were so many new things to do, and it was just great to film with the people I love.
Do you think filming it with people that you know and love made it easier?
Yes, I think it did. Because I will, sorry, I would feel more comfortable around them. So yeah.
Are there any new skills that you learned on the way while you were making these films?
Yes, I learned more about the body language and also the camera angles and editing.
There's so much to film that, you know, as a brand new filmmaker, you really have to pick up quick, or, you know, you don't see the end of your film. So congratulations on getting 2 films under your belt. Seriously.
Thank you.
All right. And are you excited to come see your film on the big screen?
Yes, I am very excited.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to have you. What's our next Fisher Middle film? Thank you so much, Sol.
Thank you.
Kelly, that's it from us, from Fisher. Okay, tell them to come back in.
Oh, well, Morgan.
Oh, sorry.
Quick, come sit down real quick and give us like 2 experience about how you found out about Film Prize Junior, and just briefly what's your experience been like being at so many different schools, doing so many films for the first time. You're a superwoman.
Thank you. So I found out about Film Prize Junior from my friend and coworker Jess, and she told me that there was a meeting coming because I kept asking her hundreds of questions, and she's like, "Girl, just go to the meeting." So I went to the meeting, and I was like alone, and she couldn't come with me. But then I met you, and you answered all my questions, and I got super excited. And that's when I had 3 schools at the time, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a movie at each school. But Lord have mercy, it has been so much fun, but very stressful too. But I am so ready for next year. I'm already thinking about stuff. I'm already ordering equipment because this was my first time, and I have learned so many new skills, and my students have been with me the whole way through. So I'm so proud of them. I really am.
You should be. Like, it is really, really hard work. Not just getting the opportunity for these kids to like make the film, but also just organizing them to come up to the festival. It is a lot, and I
Oh, yeah.
cannot thank you enough. It's teachers like you that really make Film Prize Junior possible.
Oh, thank you. Well, I am a Film Prize Junior fan. If you look in my room, I have y'all sign. I don't know if you could see it. And Kelly, look, I made real quick. I'm sorry, I have to brush. Yes, I am showing her. Look, I got the movie posters printed and I have them all over my room.
Guys, yeah. Well, we're gonna have a poster competition at the festival, so we'll have them on display here too. You don't have to bring them. All right, let's do Viva la Film Prize Junior all together real quick, okay?
Okay.
All right, on the count of three. One, two, three.
Viva la Film Prize Junior!
Congratulations, guys. We cannot wait to see you and your schoolmates up at the festival May 2nd and 3rd. Yeah, congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
All right,
See
bye,
you in
guys.
May.
Looks like we're gonna have Fairfield Magnet come on next. All right, yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself and then introduce yourself, the title of your film, and a little bit about your film without giving too much away.
Okay. My name's Sarah Catherine Lewis, and my film's name is Mackenzie's Reading Journey. And a little bit about it is there's this girl who struggles with reading, but she overcomes that and learns new stuff and makes new friends. My name is Ellie Spire, and my title of my film is Never Give Up, and a little bit about it is this girl in a cheer squad is disappointed by her mother's decision, which her mother is the coach of this cheer squad, and she didn't want to be placed in the back, but this other bully is placed in the front. So she works hard to persevere and try to get back to the front. Okay. Hi, I'm Violet Medlin, and my film's called Charlotte's Box. And so it's about this girl, and she needs to like move neighborhoods and stuff. But she's really sad about it because her best friend lives in her neighborhood, and she's not going to see her for a while. She's switching schools and stuff. And she loves art very much, but she throws it away because she's like really disappointed that, she can't really do it anymore because it's science math school. So, and then she finds this thing in her door. I'm not going to say it because it'll spoil it, but and she throughout the rest of the movie, she works hard and overcomes challenges to try and find the specific thing.
So you guys, tell us a little bit about what it was like making a film as a 5th grader.
So it was kind of hard because I did it during recess, which was only 15 minutes, and they just kept goofing off, and it was kind of hard to work with them when they were doing that, and so we had to keep redoing the scenes over and over again, which I didn't really want to do, but yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do. And how about for you guys?
What was kind of hard with my movie was that it was kind of hard to try to make all of them understand how the movie is gonna go and what their parts and the scenes are, and it was kind of hard to edit it and cut things that you didn't really need, and but I still had a really good time. A kind of hard part for me was writing the script and getting it to be the exact good length of time and the correct grammar and all that stuff, and also editing. We have a scene where we have sound, and it took us a second to figure that out, but now we know it, so we won't have to figure it out for future things that we do.
Yeah, so you were talking about editing. Are there any other new skills that y'all learned along the way? Or anything new about yourselves that you learned?
Um, so the editing was kind of hard because my mom was trying to help me, and she is not really good with iMovie, and so I kind of had to figure it out myself. And so that was kind of hard too.
But you did it! You edited your film! Aren't you proud?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how about you guys? What other new skills did y'all learn or anything new about yourself?
I kind of learned how to film and like actually put something together in an actual big movie film prize. And I kind of learned how to be like in charge kind of like my movie. I learned kind of like that not everybody's like theater is their thing. So like you need to cast people who like actually want to do it and not people who just like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore, and they just like leave in the middle because like that would be bad. You would have to like redo the entire thing. I also learned a lot with editing also.
You gotta have your ride or dies, right? You gotta have those people who you can always call on and you can count on to be there for you.
Your bestest friends.
Yes.
What was your favorite part of making your each of your films?
My favorite part was probably just looking at like the finished product of the video and what I made pretty much and how it went. My favorite part of the movie was probably putting it all together and seeing how it looks and seeing what I've done and what I've created. So my favorite part was really filming because like I get to like hang out with all of my friends and it's like a really fun and exciting experience to like learn all of these things and yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's so amazing. I'm so proud of you all for being as young as you are and committing and sticking to it. You are now all filmmakers. Are you excited to see yourselves on the big screen at the Film Prize Junior Festival?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, y'all, let's go ahead and give ourselves a big Viva la Film Prize Junior. Okay, are you ready on 3? 1, 2, 3.
Viva la Film Junior!
That's fantastic. Good job, guys. All right. Well, thank you so much, Fairfield Magnet School. We'll see all 3 of your films at the festival. Next up, we are going to bring our friends from the community school for apprenticeship learning, CSAL. They're in East Baton Rouge Parish, and they have a few films. I'm so excited to see you guys. Hey. Hi. Awesome. Okay. Welcome to the Film Prize Junior Virtual Red Carpet. We have a few films from CSAL today. So how do y'all want to do it? Do y'all want to do kind of like we did the last group where you introduce yourselves and then the lead can tell us about their film?
Yeah, so I have one person from each film.
Awesome! Yay! Okay. Well, go ahead and we'll do the we'll do the round robin where you introduce the first student will introduce themselves, the title of their film, and then a little bit about their film without giving too much away.
Hello, my name is Alexis Norwood, and I am one of the writers and the director for No Escape.
And what can you tell us about your project before, without spoiling much?
It's about 3 friends trying to escape an escape room.
Right.
My name is Hayden. I'm a writer from my movie Forgiven.
And what is tell us a little bit about Forgiven without giving too much away.
Hey, see what you get there.
Forgiven is about like 2 sisters with different personalities and treated differently.
Mhm. And our next one?
To you. So.
Just introduce yourself, the title of your film, and tell us a little bit about it without giving too much away.
Hi, my name is Zachary McMain, and I attend the Seaside Middle School, and I'm in the 8th grade. And my film is The Unexpected, and it's about us having a gas leak in town, and people turn to zombies, and
We have to escape.
we have to escape from the zombies.
Now, one at a time. Tell
Oh,
us.
wait, we have one more film.
We do?
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Perkins, and I'm from the film Don't Tell the Principal. And basically, our film is about kids in an after-school detention hall and a teacher with narcolepsy. And during detention, it gets triggered. And once she falls asleep, the students just go wild and they learn lessons.
Right. Well, Miss Ross, how did you introduce the idea of Film Prize Junior to so many students?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was challenging because I have musical theater, dance, and then choir. Everybody's had a different genre. So I introduced it as a kind of like a learning stepping stone to get them interested in acting. I wanted them to learn the behind the scenes of, you know, okay, guys, you always watching films or television shows or YouTube. This is something I wanted to motivate them. You can actually do something like this for a living. Because they never put 2 and 2 together, like, oh, so what I'm actually watching, I can actually do. So they're used to doing plays on stage or singing or dancing on stage. So actually acting for film was totally different. So I wanted to give them a little taste of something new instead of actually doing a play this year.
Sure. So, one at a time, why don't you each share a little bit about how your experience was making your film? We'd love to hear what was like some of the funnest things that you did, or if there was something tough that you're super proud that you overcame.
Okay, tell me the question one more time.
What was the super fun thing that you did?
One of the most fun part in the film was me editing the film and also directing them.
Awesome.
Great, Katie.
One of the funnest thing in my film I did was probably the lunch scene where we all got to chat at the same time, but at the same time it was a little hard because there was a lot of noise in the background, so we had to put a lot of more stuff into it than we did.
Yeah, we shot that scene in an actual lunch setting. So they were actually having lunch at the same time. Yes.
Good
So
luck.
we had to like do some voiceover, so it was hard to like match because it was so much noise. And meaning that we didn't have like a boom microphone. We just had the camera microphone, so we had to shoot it a lot of times. So they thought it was fun.
Yeah. Did you have to do any ADR or voiceover work to make that work? That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay, and what about you there, y'all in the back?
The most funnest thing that I did in my film was get us to jump off the bus. That I was doing, jumping off the bus and just being as a class and to participated together.
And how about you? What's your favorite part of making this film?
So I probably say one of the funniest things I did while making the film was me and my friends from class being able to laugh together, and whenever Miss Ross needs to like reshoot a part or go shoot a separate scene during classes, it was really fun to just go outside class and watch each other act. It was just really fun to see each other in the
Were you all shooting these films simultaneously, or was it like a one at a time type of situation?
One at a time. So each week, a different film was being filmed.
That's
But
amazing.
no, because yeah, we would shoot 2 films in a week because they're different time frames. The classes are different time frames. So it was 2 films being shot. but we shot it over a month time. So yes, yeah, that was a challenge.
And did you have any major conflicts come up where you had to pause production or anything like that?
Tell her when we shot No Escape, they actually had the cheerleaders came in front of the school. We were shooting in the principal's office, right? And the cheerleaders came to practice. So we had to shoot in between them cheering.
Oh man.
So that was challenging because we would wait till they finish the cheer. Okay, hurry up, do your line. Okay, shh, be quiet. All right, they stop again, film again. So that was challenging.
Yeah, it's so funny how many things go into your pre-production work. Like, were you to know that you needed to be at that place at the same time cheer practice was going on?
Right. Then it snowed, so that stopped production. Oh,
With,
yeah.
with all the challenges that you faced, what advice would you give future filmmakers when it comes to handling the challenges that you had to handle?
Advice.
Good advice. Some advice I would give is like take it more serious, even though you think you can't do it, and try your best. It doesn't depend on what you think. Just always try.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay.
Something like advice I would give to future filmmakers would probably be do your best, and however you want the film to come out, that's the work you have to put into it. Don't just think, oh, if I do it like this, it's come out like that. You actually have to put the work at the end for your film to actually be the quality you want it.
Absolutely. Words for the wise. All right, y'all. Well, we do get to see you at the festival this year, right?
We're trying.
Okay, let me know how I can help.
Our leak testing, so that's the thing.
Right. This year. Well, we really hope that we see you at the festival. If not, just a reminder, we do have a virtual festival starting the next week. So I think our official dates are May 8th through the 15th. You can go online to filmprizejr.com and watch your films. Send your whole school, send your family, send your community to your festival film page, and then have them vote for the audience choice winner. It's another little special bonus that we get to give you guys. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Let's go ahead and give us a Viva La Film Prize Junior. Okay, y'all?
Ready? Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Viva La Film Prize Junior!
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for coming down. Thank you so much for sharing your films. I know it was a long way to go from start to finish, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you guys. Y'all did a lot of hard work to get your scripts to the finished film, so proud of you. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. And now we have Booker T. Washington. Fantastic. I love where we're at. Okay.
Okay.
And then we have Miss Gillum. I know that you are tuning in from someplace else, but we're gonna go ahead and get started with this interview, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, all right. Welcome to the stage. We have Booker T. Washington representing their film Milam. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and then tell us a little bit about your film without giving too much away.
Okay. Hi, I'm Taylor Washington. A little bit about the film is it's a really good history story if you really look for it. It's something that's not really known about. It's like digging deep in your city and uncovering the real truth about it. So I'm really excited for this.
Awesome. I know this is your senior year and you've been doing this a few different times, doing documentary. What is different about this experience than all of your other experiences?
This one's kind of bittersweet because it is my last year, but I'm really happy to leave a legacy behind because not only is this film gonna influence me, but it's also gonna influence others at my school that they can do something outside of basketball, football, cheer, and everything else. So this is really gonna be like an interesting, how am I gonna say this? It's gonna be like an interesting, really interesting film because it's going to inspire so many people to make their own. So I'm like super excited.
Now, I recognize you from Vincent Williams' A Man Corner.
Yeah.
So you were on stage doing theater. What was it like transitioning from the stage to the camera?
Oh, it was really hard because in that role in the Amen Corner, I had to be a grieving young mother. So I had to go from sounding like a little young kid to sounding more like a documentarian. And that was like really one of my biggest challenges because I had to talk slow, not too fast, and then I had to really make my voice a little deeper. So coming from the stage onto film, that was like extremely hard.
Was there anything that you learned about yourself, not only as a creative, but maybe as an actor, or not as an actor, but just as a creative? Yeah, is there anything that you learned about yourself as a creative?
I have a lot more growing to do. Like, there are some things that I found myself like, I can't talk slow and I will get irritated if things keep getting repeated to me over and over again. I'm trying. But other than those two things, I have a lot more growing to do in my film career and also my acting career.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what are your plans for next year? Are you going into a film-related profession?
I'm gonna do mass communications. Actually, I'm gonna go for my anchor, but I might still make a film for the real film prize next year. So I'm still thinking on that.
You gotta keep it going. Are there any skills that you've learned while making your Film Prize Junior films that you hope help you out along your professional path?
Me talking slow and very make my voice a little deeper and professional because I got grilled on that taking this skill on. But other than that, then talking slow and being more direct to the camera is really what I should focus on.
Well, Ms. Gillum knows what she's talking about. Ms. Gillum, do you want to share a little bit about your experience this year sponsoring this project?
Oh, Kelly, you know.
I know. Tell me more, babe.
Time. But it's always a challenge, but I'm grateful for people like Taylor and Orlando, and we do have others on. I don't they're listening. But we're just grateful that some of them, step up to the plate and do what they need to do. And most of all, we're grateful for the support from our principal. And so she pretty much says, sure, you can go. We need to walk down the street on the sidewalk or whatever. And she allows us to do that. So we're grateful for that. And thank you all for this opportunity.
And it takes a village. So I'm just so happy that you're supported at Booker T. Do y'all have anything that you'd like to share with our audience before we do our sign off?
No.
No? I get to see you guys at the festival?
Yes,
Definitely.
we're going to be there. It is interesting this year because the festival starts on the day of the seniors' last day of school. So I told them to come first and then go party.
That's right.
So
That's
yeah,
right.
so hopefully we can get them all there.
Well, we have a big day on Saturday planned. That's where all like the fun stuff happens. I have a little secret. We're gonna have a pretty big production island this year. So from a couple of years ago where we had all of the hair and makeup and the cinematographer cameras, like we're bringing it all back. So
Okay. Well, we're excited and ready to get this out the way.
Yeah.
I'm really gonna miss Taylor. My seniors this year, they've hung in there with me for the last 4 years. So this is gonna be bittersweet.
Well, let's go ahead and give it the old Viva la Film Prize Junior. Okay, guys?
Okay.
All right.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Viva la Film Prize!
Perfect. Okay, guys. I am so happy to see your faces tonight. Thank you again. That's Milam. They're from Booker T, Washington. We're going to see them at the festival. And next, we're going to bring up our last few people, Zachary High. May I bring up Zachary High School? Go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us what film you're bringing to Film Prize Junior.
Hi, I'm Amelia Smith.
I did Channel 47. It's about a news it's like a newscaster obviously. And the breaking news is that the zombie apocalypse has started and they sent a news reporter to go interview the public about what they feel about that. But we soon learned why that's not the best idea.
All right, and our next film?
I'm Kyron Hardinet. I'm a senior at Zachary High School, and my play is called The Butler, The Dust Left Behind. And it basically follows me. So about a year ago, I wrote and directed a play, and the day before it got canceled. So I basically talk about the process of like, casting, directing, and all that stuff leading up to it being canceled. And I try to like empower people to say, hey, let's not just make it a bad thing, stay bad. You can make it good. You can learn something from it. So that's what I try to
You
teach.
made some lemonade out of your lemons, honey. You definitely did. All right, well, we're gonna go back to Channel 47 and tell us a little bit about what making this comedy was like for you and your crew.
So I wrote it and it went through like, it was a little difficult to write because, comedy, like I have to be a little general with everyone. But when I finally got into like the group of writing it, I found that like even my French teacher, who is like 50 something, she even found it funny. And even my like 28-year-old history teacher, she found it funny. And like my friends found it funny. So I found that I have a pretty broad sense of comedy because I just write what I find funny. Because if I don't find it funny, I don't want to make it. So
I hear you.
The process.
We're gonna stay on Channel 47 because I want Brandon to spend some time with the butler, the dust left behind. So for your experience and making people laugh, other than you found out that you have a pretty good sense of humor, is there anything else that you learned, whether it's skill-wise or something about yourself or the people that you're around?
I really got into making movies, and filming stuff because I really got into horror movies. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. But you can't really go all in on it because this is junior. So I decided let's just make horror funny. And so while filming it, it's kind of hard to get high schoolers together because a couple of them, they do have rides, but then other ones don't because they can't drive or they're too young to get a license. So it's kind of hard to get people together. But the people you can get together, it makes it easier.
So what advice, given that, would you give to other people trying to make a film?
Find people who enjoy being around you because it was really nice when a session would just be like a bunch of laughing because you got to film over 2 days, and that's actually a problem in one of my scenes. I was laughing, so I had to try and edit that out. But get people who want to be there and have a smaller cast if you can.
Good advice, great advice. So the reason, and thank you for sharing your experience, but the reason why I wanted to save at least the interview portion for the Dust Left Behind is that Brandon is also a playwright. So his experience, he can definitely identify with your experience. So I'll let you kind of take it over from here,
Actually,
honey.
I identify in more ways than you think. One of the first plays I ever wrote was in high school, and it too was cut short before I was actually able to. We actually end up getting all the way, we got like most of the way through, and then the principal walked in and cut the show off before we were able to finish the show. And I had to walk out in front of everybody and essentially tell them how the play ended.
That's the worst part. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry about that.
But with that experience, you kind of, as Kelly said, you took lemons and you made lemonade. So what is it like kind of pulling off a writing session where you write a documentary about the writing or production of a play that you didn't get to do?
I mean, it's part of it is fun because you get to relive and look at videos and pictures of this time in your life that you were making such great memories. And the other half of it is really hard just because you're having those moments were fun, but it was cut short. And, I think that in a part of me, it was kind of hard to make because I was kind of still sad about it. Like, it's not really something you fully get over. I mean, you're still talking about what happened to you. So it's not something you get over when you pour so much time into it. So I would say that it was kind of both sides, but overall I did really enjoy making it.
Uh, what did you learn about yourself as a writer or a creative? Sort of switching over from writing the play to writing a documentary.
I think I learned to just really just keep going. Like, you can always make something out of really nothing. At some point I felt like I had nothing after the play was canceled, but I realized I had something, and I realized that I still had creativity and I can still do something with that. And that's why I chose to really my theater director, Miss Fire, pushed me to do it. And at first I was like, man, but I realized that I have the power to do it and I'm talented enough to do that. So why not push myself to go forward and just not give up on it?
Now, on the film side, what was this your first time doing anything film related, or
No, I've been doing it since my freshman year, so for a minute now.
a first documentary, or?
This is my first documentary.
So what was different about the documentary than any of your other times working on film?
Definitely the interview part was very hard for me because you're having to like especially when it came to recording my interviews about it, it was hard having to like get back in that space of, oh, it's canceled, I need to be upset on this part. Like because I didn't want to be acting like, oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to actually feel it. So I'd have to make myself feel those emotions at points. So that was different. And then I think just the research part, which I guess I didn't have to do too much researching, but there was still some researching you had to do, and that was a part that was kind of difficult as well.
Well, if I remember correctly, your film ends with "to be continued."
Yes.
What's next?
So the I'm like, mine was 8 minutes. So I really wanted to be, way longer. And I think that what's next is that my good friend Josh Hughes, I inspired him to make a play. And now he's writing and directing it currently. I'm in it. I was just at the rehearsal for it a few hours ago. So I want to highlight that and show that, not only did I learn from that and get to make this film, but I also got to inspire somebody and, expand the world of playwriting.
We are going to see you at the festival, right?
We're trying. We'll see. We'll see.
Let us know how we can make that possible. I know as seniors, sometimes you have free will, sometimes you don't. But hopefully you can talk to your teacher and I can help you out the ways that I can. So without kind of belaboring this, do y'all have any last thing that you want to say about your films before we have you do our sign off?
Stay creative, keep writing, have fun, live life.
Yeah, that's great advice to all of our young filmmakers and honestly the world. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Let's go ahead and do a Viva La Film Prize Junior all together real quick.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Viva La Film Prize Junior!
Congratulations, guys. Whether you come to the festival or not, we're happy that you made your film. Thank you so much. Or films, excuse me. We cannot wait to see them on the big screen. So thank you again, and we'll hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. What? Okay, we're gonna do our sign off now. So I'll just kind of do it. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. That was amazing turnout for all of these films that are going to be at the Film Prize Junior Festival May 2nd and 3rd here in Shreveport at the Shreveport Convention Center. We cannot wait to see your face on the big screen and on the red carpet. All right.
So excited.
Well, Brandon's going to be there. He's going to do an interview with some teachers. We want to see you there. Come to the red carpet and have some fun. Without further ado, are you ready, Brandon?
Indeed, I am.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Viva La Film Prize Junior! Bye.